Hey besties, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay. I love makeup, skincare, and hanging out with you guys. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a full face of Essence makeup. I really love the brand Essence. I've tried their mascara and I've also tried their lip glosses. I've also tried one of their lipsticks too that I actually just ran out of. So this video is really convenient because I got some new lipsticks too. But you guys, Essence is a really affordable brand at Ulta, which I'm sure a lot of you guys already know. They have really great prices. I mean, I spent like $50, $60 and I got 15 items, and y'all already know high end. If you're going to Sephora and you have only $50 or $60, a lot of times you're not gonna leave without less than 5 items, if even that, usually like 2 or 3 items. So I think this is really great, and if everything works out in my favor, I'm gonna be very happy to have some affordable makeup goodies in my collection. And yeah, let's just start. So the first thing I have is the Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara, and it says it also has filling fibers, which is actually really great because y'all, I have super sparse eyebrows, so because of that I really do need those fibers. Ooh, and I'm also really happy to see, well, it looks a little bit different than the NYX one, but I like how small and tiny it is, so you can really get in there and get some nice precision work. So I like the size of it a lot. The color might be a little bit off, but that's totally fine as long as the product is nice. And I'm just going to start applying it in this middle area first. And working it in to the top of the brow. And working it into the front of the brow. So because I basically have like no tail, I usually like to draw a tail with a pomade. I definitely feel like I could go without the brow product. I think that while it does fill in the brows, because I have really sparse brows, it took a lot of like adding concealer and then adding the product and then adding concealer. So without pomade, it's really difficult. This is one of those products that I was able to kind of sort of get to work for me. However, because I don't have a tail and my brows are really sparse, I do prefer the NYX one a little bit, well, a lot a bit more. I feel like if you already have really nice brows, but you just want to fill them in some of the areas that they're a little bit more sparse, this would probably be perfect for you. But for me, I just think it's not the best product I've ever tried. So to me, this isn't the best brow product I've ever tried. I do think it's a nice product for a really affordable price point if you already have pretty good brows, but you just have like a few sparse areas, like, you know, that you want to fill in. I feel like if in general you do not have a tail, like, see, I do not have a tail, you're gonna have a really hard time with this, because at the end of the day, it doesn't give you those hair-like strokes. It does, but like they're not as intense as the NYX one. So, and I did fill in the tails just a little bit with pomade, just a little, because it was really throwing me off, you guys. But next up is primer, which I believe I see in this. And this is what the primer looks like. The primer is actually $6.99, and also that brow product was $3.99. But I'm very excited to try this because it is a tinted primer. It says instant blur effect and natural matte finish, and the shade is 10 light beige, and this is the My Skin Perfector. So hopefully we have good luck with this. I'm sorry about that, you guys. I'm about to mute it. Ooh, okay. So this definitely looks like the Pores primer from Benefit, like the texture. That's so cool that like it has a color. I hope this isn't too much. Ooh, I wonder if like it'd be nice to just wear this one like on its own. Sorry you guys, I ran out of space on my SD card. I'll add a little bit more, but it does give a light coverage, and at the same time it is for sure matte like it claims. I do find that it does blur, and it also does fill in the pores, similar to many of the pore filling primers I really loved back in the day. This one is definitely more pore filling than say like the e.l.f. Putty primer. Very similar kind of to the Tarte one that I like, the Timeless. However, you guys, this one to me, just because it's meant to have a little bit of coverage, I'm putting it everywhere for that reason. And typically with these kind of primers, I only put them in the areas that I want my pores to be a little bit more filled. So right here, a little bit on the forehead and nose, and then usually that's it, because gunking it all over the face does make it feel a little bit heavy and actually really drying. I do think it's really cool that it comes out so like stiff like that, and you are able to smooth it on the hands without it feeling entirely drying and just really gunky, but at the same time it is kind of making me feel a little bit heavier. So if I was to wear this again, I probably only put it in like the areas that I do want to be pore filled, because at the end of the day, like, you could just put a foundation over top, so it really doesn't matter about the extra coverage, if that makes sense. But if you were wanting to wear this like straight up just this all over the face as like a tinted kind of primer situation, I don't think that'd be great unless you have oily skin. If you have oily skin, you'd probably love this, but for my dry skin, I'm just not really into wearing this all over the face. I think it's sucking the life out of me just a little bit, but I think the pores look unreal, amazing. Like, do you guys see that? The nose looks a little crazy, but that's okay. But yeah, that's really phenomenal. I just think it may not be for us dry skin ladies. Then the Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation is $6.99, and this is what the outer packaging looks like. And this is what the inner packaging looks like. It has hyaluron and aloe vera, which, you guys, I'm super happy it's hydrating, because my skin, like I said earlier, does feel a little bit dry at this point. So it's really great that we have a really drying primer but also really blurring one that is going to be paired with a more hydrating foundation, because right now, you guys, my skin needs it. Oh, and I also bought a brush. This is the Makeup Buffer brush, and this one is, let me tell you how much it is, $5.49. It's like a really dense brush, so I'm excited to try it. Let's just add some product. Oops. Oh, and the color, you guys, the color is 020 Neutral Alabaster. You scared me. Oh, I love you, baby. I love you. I love her so much, you guys. But yeah, the shade is Alabaster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do half of the face with this brush, and then I'm going to do the other half with a blender. But that does definitely look hydrating and like glowy. And then going in with my beauty blender. Y'all, I feel like that brush too is pretty good for the price, to be honest. I actually didn't have an issue with it. However, I do of course enjoy my Morphe dense brush, and then also my Sigma dense brush a little bit more, but y'all, those are definitely a lot more money than that one. So for $5, I think that's a really great price point. With the blender, I also think it goes really nicely into the skin. I also want to say Alabaster is a really great shade match for me. However, on both sides, I clearly see the makeup is breaking apart in this lower cheek area. And then also right here you can kind of see some of the makeup is separating as well. And I do think that is from that primer. So the primer is probably not going to be the best for me. But I have a feeling this foundation is going to be really gorgeous on the skin without that primer underneath. So if you guys want to see me do a video on this product, I would not mind to do that. But let's jump into concealer. You know what? I don't think I got a concealer, but let me double check. So I actually did not buy a concealer, so I ended up going on the under eyes and the eyelid with my KVD concealer. But I feel like they mixed pretty well with the foundation and the other products. And then for powders, I have the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. And I have the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. So we're going to play with both of these. The banana powder is $4.99. And we're just going to take that on the under eyes, mattifying the area. And I do see it being brightened. Do you guys see the difference? Wow. I cannot take serious though, you guys, how much the face is separating, I believe, from the primer. So if you guys can visibly see that, I am so sorry. Like you guys see right there, you see right here how it's separating? That's really crazy. I haven't seen that in a long time. And I feel like that powder did a really great job at brightening me up and getting me ready for the day. And then I want to go in with the All About Matte Powder, which is actually $3.99. And hopefully, let's see if this one is like actually white, because I was going to say, hopefully it doesn't leave any kind of cast. Okay, that looks white, but when you do rub it in, it goes away a little bit. I still see it. We'll see what it does for the face. I kind of want to use like a bigger powder brush for this, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this huge Behind Elf brush and just pop it in. We're just gonna pat that on the face. All that really does is mattify us. Yeah, I don't really know if I like that one as much. Let me use a smaller brush just to see in one given area how I feel. Yeah, I definitely feel like when you use a more condensed brush, you can see the effects of that powder a little bit more. I do, when I get really close up here though, still see some splotchiness, but I'm not sure what that's from, you guys. If I had to guess, I would say it's from the primer, but these kind of videos make it so hard to tell like what's to blame for any like issue that may come up. It could be the fact that, you know, the primer didn't work out, or maybe it's even the foundation, just who knows, you know. But right now I'm gonna say that the banana powder is really great. I think it did brighten me up and I love how it looks under there. But the All About Matte Fixing Powder, for now, I'm going to say it's okay. It gets the job done. But I really like that banana powder like a lot actually. So, and also the white powder didn't give me a white cast like I thought it would. So that also gives it a thumbs up. But yeah, you guys, I do look really dry now, which is kind of sad, because I really liked the look of the Fresh Hydrating Foundation, the pretty natural one. So everyday basis, I'm probably not going to be using so much powder all over the face, but I'm just really interested for this video to play with everything and get the most out of the products. So next up is bronzer. For bronzer, we have the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade 01 Natural. And this product is $4.99, and as soon as I opened it, I automatically smelled suntan lotion. So be mindful of that, you guys, if you're sensitive to fragrance. But I'm gonna go ahead and add some on this Lunar Beauty brush. That's a really nice color. I will say it's really freaking irritating when a brand has 2 shades for bronzers. Like, what are you doing? Like what's really happening here? Like 2 shades for bronzer is unacceptable. So that's the only thing where I'm kind of like, I don't even want to recommend that to you. But so far the quality of it seems fine. It seems pretty good actually. Yeah, and I think that's actually a really pretty color too. It's just unfortunate that not everybody is going to be able to enjoy this. For the price, I really like it a lot actually. And I feel like you can also add so much product onto the face without it getting really muddy, which I enjoy because sometimes, as we all know, I can get really heavy-handed really quickly. So yeah, I like that. It's very forgiving. So for blushes, it's really funny because these are just called the blush. And this one right here is called Believing. And it's a really gorgeous, like, I would say mauve toned color for every day. Really pretty, really sexy too. And then we have this one, which gives me really girly pinky vibes, which is called Beloved. And this one is actually calling my name, so I'm going to use this one today. But I'm also very excited to use this mauve as well because she is stunning, gorgeous, all the things. But we're going to use Beloved today. Taking this little Luxie brush, popping some on, and we're just going to add that to the high points of the cheek. Okay, add some more. Oh, okay. So it's not very pigmented at first, but you can definitely build it up. I was getting a little bit nervous at first that you couldn't, but you can definitely build it up, which is all that I care about when it comes to a blush, is that it is going to be something you can build up. So I did go a little bit crazy, and I'm just adding some bronzer over top to make it look better again. And I think it looks pretty good now. We did lose some bronzer though. And the color, I think it's well worth it. So I would actually say this is one of my favorite things that we've tried today, for sure. Then moving to highlight, we have the Essence Pure Nude Sunlighter. I have heard so many great things about this product, so I decided to pick it up. Only thing is, I think I picked up the wrong color. I got 40 Be My Sunlight, but I think the one people talk about is like a different name, so that was kind of upsetting, but hopefully this one will be pretty and match my skin tone. The only thing that bugs me with drugstore is that you never get a mirror, and it's always so convenient when you do, but it's not a big deal, especially when you're paying the price point that you are. This is actually $4.99, so that's really great, you guys, and we're just gonna apply this to the high points of the cheek. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice, you guys. And I still can't go over that blush. I think if you're looking for a really gorgeous highlighter for an affordable price point, that's a really great option. You want to bring down that intensity a little bit on the nose. But yeah, it's giving glazed for sure. And so you guys, one of the things I was the most excited about was the lipsticks. So I have the semi-matte formulas in the shade 12 Loyal, which looks like that. A really beautiful warm nude. And we also have the shade 09 Special, which is definitely less warm, really a beautiful, true, delicious nude that I want on my lips immediately. These are $2.79, which is why I picked two up. I just could not pass on both of these shades, but this is a really gorgeous pinky nude. Feels really creamy, but not too creamy so that you don't have a lot of control. I have like nothing negative to say about this lipstick. This is gorgeous and I'm recommending it to every single one of you. It feels really freaking good on the lips. It looks lovely. If you're looking for a straight up matte lipstick, then obviously this isn't the one for you. But I've really been loving satin lipsticks lately, and I think this one is just gorgeous, and the color of it is simply beautiful. So definitely not a true nude, more of like a pinky nude, but oh my goodness, it's beautiful, you guys. Stunning. I love this so much, and I could see a lot of people liking this lipstick color. Oh, you guys, I totally forgot that I picked up 2 liners. So I'll definitely use these in another drugstore makeup video, but dang, I wonder if they were good formulas. Feels pretty cool. Yeah, and that color would have went freaking perfect with this. And then for palettes, I picked up the Coffee to Glow Essence palette, which looks like this. And I thought this looked really interesting on the website. Like, isn't this shade really interesting right here? It kind of looks like those Huda Beauty ones that go viral. It's very interesting. I never use those shades in the Huda Beauty palettes either, by the way, you guys. So I don't see myself using it in this one either, but I think it's cute. I think the whole palette is really beautiful, really cute. So I'm going to take a Morphe brush and pop it into that lightest neutral shade. And I'm also going to pop it into the one right below that. Oh my gosh. Wow. So there's pigment, right? Right, okay. Okay. Wow. There is definite pigment, you guys. Be careful. See, that's what I get for thinking that just because it's drugstore, it probably would have a little bit less pigmentation to start out. I mean, in general, that's usually what I look for with palettes, is I like for like matte shades to be a little bit more on the buildable side of things. But you can blend that out like really easily. You can. This brush is a little bit more dense than what I would use for the crease anyways. It's just that I need to clean my brushes really bad, you guys. Clean that up with a puffier brush. And I'm just blending that really beautiful burgundy shade all over the lid. Now, you guys, I was recording and I did record that part, but my girlfriend came in here and I paused it and then I forgot to click play. So unfortunately, we lost that part. But just know all I did was do one tap in there, and that was enough to fill the whole eyelid. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut the crease. Pat that with the Beauty Blender just a little bit. And then for the inner area, I like to just take a little flat brush just so that it's a lot more even of a surface. So one of 2 things is about to happen. Either we're going to go in with a shimmer shade and it's going to be really intense and pow wow, and the cut crease will just look really gorgeous and pop off, or the shimmers are going to be lackluster and I'm going to regret cutting the crease to begin with. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the palette is $7.99. So I'm going to take this shade right here. And that looks really beautiful. But how does it look on the eyelid? Okay, that is fabulous. That's actually really gorgeous, you guys, and just what I was looking for. I will say this palette is performing really nicely for $7.99. Like, the mattes blended really nicely, the shimmers pop. It's a really great curated palette in my opinion. And then going in with the burgundy shade again, we're just going to clean up the outer edges. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other eye, and I will be right back. Hey besties, I'm back. I ended up going in with the Rare Beauty mascara because unfortunately I forgot to order one from Ulta. I thought I already owned one too, so I looked around, but I couldn't find that either. So I just went in with the Rare Beauty, and then I went in with the Mario Badescu on the skin just because I didn't see they had a setting spray online either. So I decided to go in with my own products for those two things. And I feel like the makeup looks really freaking pretty, you guys. I have all of my full thoughts and opinions, and let's jump right into them. One thing that I do love about this brand is that they are very affordable. There's no products in this video that are over $10. No products that are even $10 in general, which is really fun to see when it comes to drugstore, because you guys know like the main drugstore brands that we've grown to love, like e.l.f. and NYX, definitely NYX, and just all these other drugstore brands, Maybelline, are all kind of going over that $10 mark when it comes to their products. But Essence decided to stay under that, which I think is really great and really cool because we don't see that very often anymore. So these products are very affordable, and I think there's really great quality products in this lineup. So let's jump through all of the products I would definitely recommend to you. The thing that came in first place for me would have to be the lipsticks. Because they're under $3, you get gorgeous shades, and the formula feels really nice and lightweight on the lips. So this is the first thing I'm going to recommend to you guys. I would pay way more than $3 for this, and while the packaging isn't extravagant, I also don't think it looks super cheapy, so I really love this. Next would have to be the Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation. This looks so healthy and beautiful on the skin. I cannot wait to use it on its own because it's like leaking because I can't find the top. But I can't wait to use this on its own because it is simply stunning, and I feel like the only reason it was breaking apart and pilling in some areas was because of the fact that we did use that primer, which if you didn't already know, I'm not the biggest fan of for my dry skin, but if you're oily, you might love that. Then the next thing would be the Essence Coffee to Glow palette. You guys, definitely use a lighter hand with this. Don't think it's not going to give you pigment, because it is. In fact, I clearly remember trying a palette from Essence. I can't remember. You guys know like the ones that have like the clear packaging. I do not really like those. But this is such a step up from that. You do have to use a lighter hand, but even if you do go heavy, you can blend it out without any issue. There's no patchiness, and I love the shimmers here. They really pop on the lid, and I didn't even try to wet the brush because I feel like if I did that, it would just be so intense. I feel like there's literally high-end palettes I have that aren't even as intense as that shadow is, but I love it nonetheless. So I really wanted to give that an honorable mention as well. I also think the highlighter is really pretty. I do want to see if they have like other colors, because even though I really like the gold, I would love to have like an icy shade as well. Then the blushes and bronzer are really great. I will say the blushes, you guys, you definitely need to swirl your brush in there and then apply, because if not, you're going to be disappointed because there's not going to be a lot of pigment to it, and you might feel like, dang, why'd I buy this? But when you do swirl it and you do apply, you get a really beautiful flush of color that I think looks really beautiful on the skin and really healthy. And then with the bronzer, I feel like this is like the perfect shade for when I'm really pale. If you're really pale, I think you'll love this shade. I'm just annoyed that not everyone is going to be able to enjoy this, unfortunately, but it is a good formula. For powder, I don't know how I feel about this one 100%. I do think it does mattify you like it claims, so for that reason I feel like it would be worth it. And then the Brighten Up Banana Powder, I freaking love this. If you like banana powders, I think you would really freaking love it, because I think my under eyes look really bright and I look awake and ready for the day, which just makes me really happy. You guys already know all the other products though that I'm not mentioning. I'm just not the biggest fan of. I really didn't like that brow gel. In fact, I will never probably repurchase that again. It's just not my favorite. And then that tinted primer, I just did not like either. But for the most part, I liked a lot of the products, which makes me very happy because I would rule this as overall a success. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys have any other brands you want me to do this with, please let me know, and I'll see you in the next one, besties. Bye!